20 years ago, I had a boyfriend who left a poem on my doorstep. He later told me that he chose that particular poem because he knew that I wouldn't understand it. I didn't want to believe him, so at first I tried to make sense of it. I tried to decipher every word, writing down the definitions and their synonyms. I examined how the words were put together, and I tried to evaluate what each phrase might mean. I even took breaks where I would walk away, giving myself time to process, and then I would come back to it with a fresh and open mind, trying to approach it from a different perspective to find some new or hidden meaning. I was desperate to prove to myself that even if I didn't understand it when he left it there, that I was smart enough to figure it out, that I was smart enough to learn. 20 years later, and this memory pops up into my head as if it needs more thought, as if it needs more reflection. And I realized that back then, I didn't talk about it with anybody. I didn't call my girlfriends or my mom or my sister to tell them what happened. I think I just tried to move on, to move forward, to pretend like it didn't happen, to pretend like it didn't matter. But I think what I really did was suppress it into my memory. Because it's been 20 years, yet I remember it vividly like it was yesterday. And I realized that I remember it because it did matter. I remember it because it hurt. And I remember it because I was embarrassed. I remember it because yes, boyfriend, your words undercut my confidence, and you made me feel dumb and ashamed in that moment. I wasn't as smart as you, and I may never be. Your words about a poem that you transcribed that was authored by somebody else that you left on my doorstep cut through my thick skin on that rainy morning like a knife. What should have been a new day of freedom for me turned into a day of chains weighing down my spirit. This one memory haunting my ego, crushing my confidence, constantly telling me that I'm inadequate, telling me that I can't figure everything out, telling me that there are some things that I just won't understand, some things that I will never understand no matter how hard I try. This one incident telling me that I am limited, telling me that I am not enough. So here I am, I admit it. I tried furiously to understand that poem, and I didn't get it. No matter what I came up with, I was always wrong. I knew I was wrong. I tried to figure it out, but I wasn't smart enough to understand it. No matter how persistent or creative I tried to be, I was always wrong. And now, as I reflect back on it, on that whole incident, I realized that I was wrong. But not because I didn't understand the poem. I was wrong because that's not the lesson I should have learned. The lesson wasn't in the poem. The lesson wasn't written on that piece of paper. The lesson wasn't in the words that you told me when you said to me that I was too stupid to figure it out. The lesson, my dear ex-boyfriend, was in your intentions and in your actions. The lesson was that I made the right decision when I walked away from you and from that relationship. You showed me that you never respected me or my intelligence or lack thereof. You showed me that you didn't appreciate me for what I was or what I could become, or you wouldn't have put me down and insulted me and embarrassed me intentionally like that. But what you didn't realize is this. I got where I am today not because I was born smart, and not because I understand everything, and not because I can figure everything out. I got where I am today because I take these moments when I'm cut wide open and my flesh is exposed and my soul is defeated, and all I want to do is curl up into a ball and cry. I take these crushing moments and I always pick myself back up. I look to the sky, take a deep breath, and I grab my tool bag, and I grab my thread and my needle, and I stitch myself back together, stitch by stitch by stitch. And I grit my teeth through the pain of every stitch, knowing that it takes strength and confidence to mend myself. but at the same time with the realization that I so easily presented and exposed myself to you to be cut wide open if you chose to. But you know what? I would do it again, and I'd do it again, and I'd do it again, because I will not change who I am. The lesson I learned is that I didn't and I don't need you. I only need me to mend myself. I only need me to love me as I am, fat or skinny, weak or strong. I only need me to love myself as I am, smart or stupid. And I don't need to change who I am or what I do for anyone. I don't need to dissect every word to feel worthy of your approval or your acceptance. I only need to approve of myself and accept of myself as I am. 20 years after a demoralizing incident, 20 years of being trapped in a suppressed memory that I didn't even know was holding me back. 20 years, and I finally have freedom. I am and will be who I am, not what anyone makes of me. Because you are you and I am me, created exactly as we were intended to be. And that is beautiful, and that is wonderful, and that is awesome. And that is all I will ever need to know of a poem that was written on a piece of paper left on my doorstep 20 years ago of what that means. I am enough. So my friends, the next time somebody else tries to steal your day of freedom with chains and with whispers of words that crush your inner being, let me be the one to tell you. Let me be that voice in your head. Stand up. Look to the sky. You were created exactly as you are intended to be. You are enough.